So what drives that sensitivity and that resistance? Calorie deficit alone is the best thing that we can do to restore our insulin sensitivity or the signaling to these insulin receptors, because we have less demand from an overall glucose disposal standpoint, because we have less energy coming in, and because now we're tapping into our body's stored energy reserves, we're liberating fat to use as energy. So we have, again, less glucose coming in because we're eating less, and then we're also tapping into fat directly, which is helping on both fronts to improve glucose levels in the blood. So this is going to help restore that insulin signaling directly. Probably the second most important thing behind being in a calorie deficit to improve insulin response is simply just being leaner and being in a better body composition. The leaner you are, the better you're actually able to partition nutrients towards muscle growth and storing glycogen as opposed to storing fat. Think of it this way: the leaner that your starting point is, the better of the ratio of the nutrients that you put in that you can partition towards muscle growth over fat. So if I start out in a growth phase, let's say around 7 or 8%, I'm probably going to be at around 70-30 ratio of muscle growth to fat storage, as long as I'm not just drinking butter and a lot of my excess calories in a small surplus are coming from carbohydrates. But the fatter I get, the more body fat I accrue, the worse this ratio gets. And as I start approaching, let's say 14-15% body fat, I'm going to be on the scales where I'm storing more like 70 or 80% body fat as opposed to 20% being partitioned towards muscle growth. And again, the fatter you get, the worse this ratio gets, the more your insulin resistance compounds, and you get to the point where you're past like 20% body fat, your body is so resistant to muscle growth, it's a wasted effort altogether. The next biggest lever we can pull in terms of improving insulin signaling is different forms of activity.